Welcome back to Upgrade to General, a series to help you upgrade your amateur radio license to general class. This is the last episode in all of the questions, episode G0, question set B. I'm your host, Ron Call, KE7CR. Let's get started with this last question set. Question 1 asks, which wire or wires in a 4-conductor 240-volt AC circuit should be attached to fuses or circuit breakers? And the answer is only the hot wires. If you install fuses on the other wires, they may not let excess or shorted voltage run to ground. So there's going to be excess voltage remaining in your equipment. It's a shock hazard. So only put fuses or circuit breakers on the hot lines. The next question. According to the National Electrical Code, what is the minimum wire size that may be used for safely wiring with a 20 ampere circuit breaker? I've got in this picture a 12 AWG side by side with a 14 AWG. These are probably the two most common wire gauges used in house wiring. You can see the black hot wire here for the 12 that's encased in the yellow insulation. The black hot wire diameter size compared to the black hot wire in the 14 AWG, which is a white plastic coated. And you can just see the difference in diameter. That's the difference in gauge size. So 12 AWG is designed to be able to carry higher current, so it can handle 20 amps. So the answer, AWG number 12. The next question asks which size of fuse or circuit breaker would be appropriate to use with a circuit that uses AWG number 14 wiring. So the same concept, how much current can each wire carry? And the answer for AWG 14 for 14 wire gauge is 15 amps. 15 amperes is the answer. The next question asks, where should the station's lightning protection ground system be located? And that's outside the building. Here's a photo of a lightning arresters mounted to a case with a ground strap tied to the ground rod for the building. Again, all the grounds should be connected, so the entire building is staying at the same ground level. And the lightning protection ground system should be located outside the building. The next question asks, which of the following conditions will cause a ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, to disconnect AC power? These power receptacles, these outlets are called GFCIs or GFIs, ground fault circuit interrupter or ground fault interrupter, and they're designed to trip extremely fast, much faster than a regular circuit breaker can trip. They're always required by code where there could be the presence of water. What causes them to trip? And the answer to this question is current flowing from one or more of the hot wires directly to ground. The next question, which of the following is covered by the National Electrical Code? That's the electrical safety of the station. The next question, which of these choices should be observed when climbing a tower using a safety harness? Now, never climb a tower unless you're harnessed. There have been so many accidents with people falling, so don't risk it. Always get a safety harness to make sure it's going to work. The answer to this question is confirm that the harness is rated for the weight of the climber and that it is within its allowable service life. If you've got an old harness, it could be degraded, the straps might break. You wouldn't want to use that kind of harness. Also, you've got to make sure it's rated for your weight. If you slip and fall, it's going to save your life. So make sure it's those two things. It's rated for your weight and it's within its allowable service life. The next question asks, what should be done before climbing a tower that supports electrically powered devices? Always make sure that there's no power to them. The way to make sure of that, and the answer to this question is, make sure all circuits that supply power to the tower are locked out and tagged. The tag-out lockout system was designed so that people can't accidentally come and turn on power while someone's working on a system and get electrocuted. So when you turn off the power, you're supposed to provide a lock with a tag that says it's been locked out, who's locked it out, and who's in charge, and not to remove that and not to turn that on. It makes it impossible to power that circuit until the work has been done. So make sure all circuits that supply power to the tower are locked out and tagged. The next question, which of the following is true of an emergency generator installation? And the answer is the generator should be operated in a well-ventilated area. Remember, these generators are combustion generators. They're going to produce CO2 and carbon monoxide, so you don't want to have that situation indoors. Make sure they're out in a well-ventilated area. The next question, which of the following is a danger from lead tin solder? And the answer, lead can contaminate food if hands are not washed carefully after handling the solder. Remember, lead is toxic. You don't want to be exposed to too much of that. Don't get it on your hands and then put your hands on something you're going to eat. So make sure if you're using leaded solder that you wash your hands after working with the solder. The next question, which of the following is required for lightning protection ground rods? And the answer is they must be bonded together with all other grounds. You don't want 2 or 3 separate ground rods driven into the ground near, one from your station, one antenna, another one from another antenna. If those ground rods aren't interconnected, they're not going to be necessarily at the same ground potential, so you can get ground loops between them. So make sure you bond together all other grounds. The next question, what is the purpose of a power supply interlock? The purpose is to ensure that dangerous voltages are removed if the cabinet is opened. And the final question, where should lightning arresters be located? That's where the feed lines enter the building. So your feed lines from your antennas connect to lightning arresters, which are grounded, and then feed lines continue on into the building. Thank you for joining me for this final question set for Upgrade to General. It's been a pleasure. And hopefully this has helped you as you prepare to take the exam to upgrade your amateur radio license to general class. Before finishing the series, I do want to do one more quick episode just about helps and hints to help you be a better operator and enjoy the hobby more. 73, this is KE7CR.